afternoon and welcome to the 2009 Honors Convocation. First, I think we all want to thank our wonderful talented musicians under the direction of Steve Blair and also Diane Julie Reed for the processional music. I'm Academic Dean Dan Regan, and today I want to dispense with the comments I might ordinarily make about the tradition and nature of academic honors. Instead, I want to make one point and then ask one question, ask for your assistance, really. The point I want to make is this. The quality of JSC student work this year has really been extraordinary. I want to give you a couple of examples, and I'm not going to mention the staff and faculty who have guided students in this work, because I want to keep the focus on our students. Last week, Gregory Terry and Timothy Thurston gave a polished research presentation as part of the Vermont Streams Project. They looked at the microbial and phosphorus content of water sources in the Lamoille watershed. Molly Norcross won a Governor's Award for Outstanding Volunteer Community Service. Courtney Gabory received the Keenan Public Service Award from Vermont Campus Compact. Caitlin Diaz, Merlin Putra, and Mallory Sargent-Hire are about to display their research on infant humor at the Conference of Undergraduate Research Posters on the Hill event in Washington, D.C. Drama, music, and tech theater students and those from fields as diverse as OED and HTM stepped up to put on an excellent pajama game last week. There have been fantastic art shows all year long, including the current one, Emily Reed and Tim Savard's current BFA exhibit at Scott Gallery. Karina Lepelay received the Vermont Genetics Network grant to conduct a study this summer. A couple more examples. Tony Little received the Secretary of State's Enduring Democracy Award. 7 WHAM students presented a well-received poster presentation at a conference in California. Christy Wenlin is playing a major role planning and implementing the 3rd annual Hunger Conference with the Vermont Food Bank. Advertising students worked with the Vermont Soy Milk Company to develop advertising campaigns for that company. Student athletes played an important mentoring role with kids at the nearby Laraway School, and JSC student teachers continue to distinguish themselves in schools throughout the region. These are just a few of many possible examples. So my question to students, to faculty, and to staff is, will you join with me next year in creating an honors program that suits Johnson State College, that can provide a vessel for this and other outstanding work and a vehicle to advance and recognize it? Will you? I really hope that your answer might be yes. It is time. Well, today we recognize some other outstanding and noteworthy student accomplishments guided by a terrific faculty and staff, some of whom, too, will be honored this afternoon. It promises to be a great event, but there also are a couple of ground rules, and I thought I would mention them first. First of all, if you glance at your program, you'll see that the event is divided into 3 major segments. First, there'll be a series of departmental and program awards, followed by a brief musical interlude. Then there will be a series of scholarship awards, followed by college-wide awards. Here I want to make a plea to students. When you are recognized, please come up to the platform stage right, that is over there to your right, and please begin moving from your seats and start lining up before your name is announced. And then we would ask that you come across the stage and exit on this side, that is stage left from where you are sitting now. There will be a couple of exceptions. Some of you will be recognized from your seats and the audience asked to hold their applause. Please rest assured that this is not to diminish the importance of your award, but simply in light of the occasionally large number of recipients. In a moment, President Barbara Murphy will welcome you and introduce the first departmental presenter. I'll return after the last program award, and now I'm pleased to present our president, Barbara E. Murphy.
this event so beautifully for us. I'm really proud to be here, and I trust you all are too. I will be brief. I want to welcome us and give a hearty congratulations to those who will be recognized today. I want to thank everyone in this room for your role in creating this event and helping realize it. We all have a place, whether we're staff people who work in the backgrounds or faculty in key teaching roles. As donors who have helped fund the many awards and scholarships we will award today, we could not do this work without you. Our community partners, also deep thanks from us for helping to welcome our students into your businesses and organizations and schools. Placing Honors Convocation at this time of year does two things. It sets the stage for commencement ceremony. That's our annual graduation that will happen just 2 weeks from this coming Saturday. In this way, this event marks the end of the academic year, but I also think of it as marking our pledge to return next year. We also recognize many students and some faculty and staff who are coming back next year. So that's, in a way, what makes me think of this event as a pledge to ourselves to enter the next academic year with the same energy and intention as we're closing this one out. Let me say 3 very short things. Honorees, as you accept the well-deserved awards, think about who might have helped you to this moment and remember to acknowledge them too. None of us, that includes all of us up here, everyone to your left and right, none of us got where we are here by ourselves. So do take a little time to think, who is it who helped me? However intentionally, accidentally, casually, and recognize them. Second thing, do the same for someone else. Become the person they're going to think about when they're the ones standing on the stage with their hand out for a well-deserved award. It's as satisfying as being the direct recipient, so remember to do that along the way. And finally, our educations are only realized, truly realized, in the company of others. Our learning is valuable as we live in community. It's our job to share what we know again and again and again, and to keep in circulation the ideas that we're forming, the perspectives we have, shifting as they may be, our tentative conclusions, our firm beliefs, with as open a mind and heart as each of us is capable of having. So congratulations, and I'll enjoy the next hour plus with you in celebration. And our first department chair is Susan Green from Behavioral Sciences.
Good afternoon. I have the great pleasure today of presenting the awards for the Department of Behavioral Sciences. We have some outstanding students who are enrolled in our programs in anthropology and sociology, in wellness and alternative medicine and psychology. And for the very first award in anthropology and sociology, we had a tie. And so with that, I would like to ask Courtney Gabory and Emily Reed to come up on the stage. The next award. Our next award is in psychology, and it goes to Merlin Putra. For undergraduates who have done an outstanding job is in wellness and alternative medicine. And again, we have a tie for this award, and it goes to Allison Perlin and Jennifer Taylor.
Good afternoon. I'm Todd Coleman, the chair of the Business and Hospitality Management Program. Today we have several awards to honor students in both business management and hospitality management. And our first award goes to Lindsay LaHouyer for her outstanding academic achievement and her positive attitude that she brings to both the classroom and to the community. Thank you. Our next award goes to two outstanding hospitality management students who will be graduating this year. And it's been a real pleasure working with both of them for the last 4 years. First is Stacy Cutting, who has been very engaged in the athletics here at Johnson State College, and you'll hear more about Stacy, I'm sure, later on in the program. But she's also been an outstanding achiever in our classrooms, great team player, and an excellent leader. Stacy, congratulations. And our last award goes to Christy Wenlack, who is just so engaged here in the college and community and fine and performing arts and theater and dance. And then she's an avid event planner, and as you heard earlier, she just organized the 3rd annual food bank event that was a statewide event. So Christy, thank you very much for all your work. We also have quite a few scholarships to award today through the HTM's and Hospitality Scholarship Awards. These awards come courtesy of the Freeman Foundation, and so I'd like the recipients of those awards to please stand as I call your name. Nicole Hebert, if Nicole's here, Leanna Bredesen, Allison Casey, Morgan Goodyear, Arlene Gray, Nicole Hamilton, Nick Holm, Cassandra Hood, Karina Lepley, Shayna Lyon, Dennis Patrick, Eric Tilburg, and Whitney Erskine. Oh, good, there you are. I thought you were out in the sun. Thank you. And finally, an award that I really do not like to give out, but I'm pleased to give it to one of our aspiring first-year students. It's the Sarah Lazat Scholarship in honor of Sarah Lazat, who was a student here earlier in the decade. And this award goes to Morgan Goodyear, who's an outstanding academic achievement and really just an all-around good person. Morgan, please come up.
Good afternoon. I'm Ken Brighton. I'm chair of the education department here at Johnson State College. Those people earning awards from the education department would come forward, please. Selecting students for these awards is difficult because it's impossible to choose the best. So what we try to do is select recipients who embody what we think outstanding classroom teachers should be. So we are awarding and honoring 6 such recipients this afternoon. Receiving the Agnes Duffy Award for Reading Instruction is Sarah Dolan. The John Bindus Award is given to a non-traditional student who has demonstrated a strong commitment to educating young children. This year's recipient goes to Samantha Cuddy. The Education Department would also like to recognize 4 students who have demonstrated excellence and commitment to the teaching profession. These 4 are Tara McCullum, Hannah Plant, Justin Chamberlain, and Catherine Johnson. And finally, to a graduate student who demonstrates the hard work and dedication necessary to complete postgraduate studies here at Johnson State College, Brian Wagner. Let me introduce Professor Liz Dulcet.
The recipient of the Environmental Science Award is Jennifer Perone. The Biology Award recipients are Benjamin Kirshner and Tim Thurston. That Jen Perone is in class, and that's why she's not here to receive her award. The Health Sciences Award goes to Dustin Berry. The recipient of the Outdoor Education Award is Shayna Whitaker. The recipient of the Daniel Holmes Memorial Scholarship is Jonathan Owen. The Professor Margaret G. Autumn Environmental Scholarship is awarded to Edward Robbins. And I'd like to introduce Professor Steve Blair, co-chair of the Department of Fine and Performing Arts.
Okay. The dance award goes to Nicole Lafave. Got 2 music awards. One goes to Dana Thomas. And Megan Waterhouse. The Milton J. Rettenberg Scholarship goes to Mark Chrissinger and Jacob Lane. Always doing things backwards. The Andy Shapiro Award goes to Jahida Jorganis. The Albert and Elizabeth Swinkowski Scholarship in Music goes to Stephanie Poucher. And the Technical Theater Award goes to Scott Grella. And the Theater Award goes to Jess Silva. Sorry about that, Jess. And now we're going to get the chair of the Visual Arts program up here, John Miller.
Good afternoon. It gives me great pleasure to give out these awards to many of the students in the art department today. The first award is for art education to Holly Milligan. The Art History Award goes to Holly Thompson. And the BFA Thesis Award is awarded to Catherine Brown. The Ceramics Award goes to Florence Darling. The Digital Media Award goes to Amy Daniel. No, Amy? Okay. The Drawing Award goes to John Toohey. Okay, Tim, are you out there? Painting Award to Tim Savard. If you haven't seen Tim's paintings in the Gibbon Gallery right out here, make sure you see them. And the Photography Award goes to Sahara Najat Kroll. The Sculpture Award goes to Chelsea St. Louis. the next presenter will be Jerry Anderson. Catherine Brown, I have to call you back up again, and Byron Limbo Frey, both won very prestigious Vermont Studio Center Fellowships, which they will be in residency for 2 weeks at the Vermont Studio Center. Gary Anderson now.
Actually, hi. Cynthia West is going to join me, and my politics of gender class actually taught me a concept I hadn't heard before, arm candy. So we don't know if she's my arm candy or I'm her arm candy. In case the two of us are here together to have the honor to present some awards in our department, the humanities department. And you know, so many wonderful, talented people and so few awards. I always like to remind us at a time like this that knowledge is its own reward, and so we all deserve the knowledge is its own reward award. But we also have some very outstanding people that we want to honor. The first starts with our Humanities Award for somebody who represents outstanding achievement throughout the entire Humanities Department, and that's Zachary Rabidou. The George and Charlotte Domke Award. You know, Cynthia and I were talking about the fact that being here for 30 years, so many awards honoring our deceased colleagues throughout, and what an honor it is to remember people like Charlotte and George Domke. And that award goes to Angelica Katerina. The Bill Doyle Political Science Scholarship goes to one of the funniest people I know, Kim Mateo. And now the Francophile Award and Madame West.
Voilà. Quel honneur de présenter ce prix francophile à Nicole Hamilton. It's quite an honor to give this Francophile Award to Nicole Hamilton. Félicitations.
If you haven't had the pleasure of studying either French or Spanish here, please do. And now to the Robert J. Harris Political Science Scholarship that goes to someone you're going to see walking across the stage many times today, an extremely bright and talented person, Deborah Neville. The Nelson Papucci Award goes to Joseph Jones. And our last category, honors students in Professor Bill Doyle's Vermont History and Government class. And if you don't know the series of films that his students have been working on, please acquaint yourself with them. They also make wonderful gifts. But they are an outstanding statement of what it means when someone like Professor Doyle is so good at helping involve others and really creating a scholarly community. And also empowering students to become filmmakers and historians through the extended classroom experience. And this award goes to 6 students, and I hope they are here. Charles Burgess, Sylvia Mariolo Dallas, Michael Meehan, Cody Rock, Lindsay Simmons, and Sean Van Hosen. And I now turn you over to the Christopher Obashan, Chair of the Mathematics Department.
Thank you, Jerry. I am Chris Obashan, Chairman of the Mathematics Department at JSC. We have so many wonderful students in the math program here at JSC. I feel a lot of gratitude just to be able to stand here and let them know how awesome I think they all are. The Mathematics Award this year goes to a student who is so remarkable. He always impressed me with his ability to take the difficult mathematics I'm trying to teach him and make it look so darn easy. Maybe it wasn't, I just didn't know. He's going to be going to graduate school at either University of Vermont or University of New Hampshire. This year's departmental award in mathematics goes to Ryan Stewart. We also have several scholarships to award. This year we have 2 recipients for the Roger H. Allen Memorial Math Scholarship, and their names are Cassandra Cavella and Rebecca Giroux. You guys better walk fast because we have 4 recipients of the Safford Scholarship this year. Maybe we should have just kept you up here. Their names are Rebecca Giroux, Nicholas Holm, Cassandra Cavella, and Kara Modugno. Kara's making the smart choice and staying up here to save herself a bit of a runaround. This year's recipient of the Stella and Walter Sargent Math Scholarship is Kara Modugno. Now let's bring up Andy Parham from Writing and Literature.
Chair of the Writing and Literature Department. This year's Journalism Award goes to Nathan Burgess. The Literature Award this year goes to Adam Kingsbury. Awards in the BFA program, the Roger Rath Mark Canavan Award. These awards this year go to Grace Albert Gardner and Adam Smith. The Sarah Taylor Memorial Award goes this year to Jessica Logier.
Hello, I'm Dave Kavanaugh, co-director of the External Degree Program. I'm very pleased today to recognize the following 5 graduating students with external degree program awards. First, graduating in business management, Peter Gunn. Graduating in elementary education with a concentration in psychology, Gerardo Ortiz. Also graduating in elementary education with a concentration in psychology, Stacy Sullivan. Graduating with a degree in general studies, Jennifer Fuller. Finally, graduating in psychology, Jessica Garrow. Next, Dr. Susan Green from Behavioral Sciences.
Presenting the award for the student in the Master of Arts program in counseling. There's actually 2 students that have been awarded this prestigious award this year, and we have Stephen Mest and Lydia Pennock. Next, we have Dr. Ken Brighton, Chair of the Education Department.
Listed in the program is Brian Wagner, someone who was recognized a few minutes ago in our Education Department. I'm not 100% sure if this is accurate or not. Brian is in our licensure program. We anticipate him down the line majoring in education with a master's degree. So Brian, I think you're here, and we hope this isn't premature, but we hope you will be entering our master's program and we can recognize you. Thanks.
And in the Master of Fine Arts program, we have 2 awards and studio awards, both Timothy Harriet and Donna Bales Works.
I'm Karen Madden, Director of Academic Support Services, and I'm delighted to present the Distinguished Student Award to Molly Norcroft. I'm also delighted to present the Non-Traditional Learners Award to Robert Butler.
Okay, now we are to be treated by two musical selections by the JSC Choir, the first directed by Professor Lisa Jodlow, and the second conducted by JSC student and award winner Dana Thomas. Thank you very much. I'm going to remind everybody later, 7 p.m. tonight in this building, Dibdin, JSC Concert Choir and Band. It's always a great pleasure to introduce Professor Emeritus Alice Whiting, who's president of the JSC Alumni Council.
Thank you. It's always a pleasure to present scholarship awards. And I have to tell you that as someone who read these piles of applications. It's not an easy task to select those who win these awards. We have many worthy students here at Johnson. The first awards are named awards, the first being the Amy Fisher Award, and that goes this year to Tony Little. Next, we have the Ginny Fitzgerald Scholarship that goes to Byron Limbaugh Frey. We have the Frida Hebb Scholarship that goes to Nicole Hamilton. We have the James Rice Scholarship. Is Jim here today? If so, would you stand to be recognized, Jim? Or at least wave. That's good. Thank you. And that scholarship goes to Courtney Gabbery. Then, for want of a better term, we have a list of Alumni Association's general scholarships. And I think I counted very hastily, but I think there are about 40 there. So instead of asking those people to come up, we would like them to just stand and be recognized. If your name is listed in the Alumni Association's general scholarship list in the program, would you please stand?
Thanks, Alice. We really appreciate those scholarships being funded by JSC alumni. Now, I have a number of scholarship awards to give out. I really like the idea of our food service provider presenting us with an annual scholarship to an all-around student. This year's worthy recipient of the Aramark Outstanding Student Scholarship is Andrew Mitchell. The bookstore also funds an annual scholarship, and I'm really happy this year to recognize as this year's recipient a really great guy, Robert Key. Now we come to the Donald and Susan Collins Scholarship. If Don and Susan could make yourselves known to the audience, we'd like to recognize you. I've got to say, it's always a special pleasure for me to award a scholarship in the name of Senator Collins and Susan Collins, knowing as I do of their deep commitment to education and to Vermont. This year's winner is Ashley Favreau. Our JSC students are truly devoted to community service, so it's really something to win a community service scholarship. So I'm going to say all the names together, and I ask them to then come across the stage in the order that I call them. The community service scholarship winners this year are Courtney Gabbery, Mallory Hazen, Jordan Jewett, Byron Lembo Frey, James Mabier, and Kyla Suarez. Dr. Richard Dome Scholarship. I know Dr. Dome, and it's an honor to give a scholarship in his name, and I think also to receive one in his name. The well-deserving recipient this year is Ben Chaucer. The Martha D. Pico Memorial Scholarship. She was an educator who really did make a difference, and I think that was witnessed by her 1998 JSC Distinguished Alumna Award. And I think we all believe that this year's worthy recipient will also make a difference. His name is Edward Robbins. I love the combination of this next scholarship winner of studio art and secondary licensure. Seems to me just a very important combination. The winner this year of the George Dewey Memorial Scholarship is Timothy Curran. The Ellsworth Trust Scholarships. For 25 years, the Trust has sponsored an annual lecture, student travel, and scholarships, and we really thank the Trust Board very, very much. This year's scholarship winners, and I'll call your names and ask you to come up together. Angelica Caterino, Zachary Johnston, Joseph Jones, Scott McDowell, and Deborah Neville and Sarah Truckle. The Griffin Scholarship this year goes to a guy who is sort of making his pedometer miles up here, Timothy Curran. JSC staff and faculty scholarships have a special resonance because these come from your teachers and your staff members, your advisors and other service providers. I think they mean a lot. Let me ask recipients as I call your names to stand at your seat and we recognize you at the end. Victor Abbas, Tyler Arrigo, Dominique Couture, Madeline Gibbons, Michelle Goodrow, Zachary Johnston, Rachel Mazur, and Shane Mulcahy. Delighted to present Dean of Students Dave Berg.
Good afternoon. I have the privilege of awarding this year's JSC Student Association Memorial Scholarships. These scholarships are selected each year by our Student Government Association, so these are truly awards from these students' peers. I'm going to ask each of these four recipients to come up and receive their honors. Victor Abbas, Catherine Johnson, Emma Porritt, and Sarah Truckle. President Barbara Murphy.
Students, you make us feel so proud. Next is a group of scholarships that, as I look at them, have been funded by alumni, former professors, former staff members, and the generosity of others too. So this is truly a gift that continues to enrich all of us. The first is the Luella Eldridge Scholarship. While Luella Eldridge, the namesake, was herself not a grad, her family thought the best way to honor her, they being a family of Johnson grads, was to endow a scholarship in her name. This year it goes to Holly Thompson. And the next award is named, it's a new endowed scholarship to alums from 1969 who have become very active themselves. They are outstanding alums, and it's a pleasure to award this in the name of Mark and Star Heinrich, and the recipient is Carly Helber. And the next two awards are funded by Professor Emeritus John Duffy and his wife Barbara Kelly Duffy in the name of her family, the Kellys. The first is the Kelly Scholarship to Hillary Hayward, journalism major. The second is the Kelly Writing Prize. And this is a prize that is for writing, but is not necessarily awarded to a writing and lit major. This year's recipient is a history major, Scott McDowell. And our next scholarship is named after our registrar, former registrar John Lord, himself the creator of this endowment. So it's very special to recognize, again, Scott McDowell. And the next is a large group, but I will ask people to come and be recognized in the order in which their names are. I'll give you a few minutes to scoot out to the aisle there while I'm reading. It was a personal pleasure to read through the applications and make these recommendations myself. So I think I'll read the list and then ask you to come up in that order. Jennifer Bethel, Ben Chaucer, Katie Crown, Claire Demaray, James Dempsey, Whitney Erskine, Courtney Gabory, Morgan Goodyear, Jordan Jewett, Joseph Jones, Corinna Lepley, Tony Little, Shane Mulcahy, Deborah Neville, John Owen, Emma Porritt, Josh Guapolo, David Weinbaum. The next is the Helen Braley Stearns Scholarship, funded by Prescott Stearns in memory of his mother, who was the class of 1913. Several recipients here: James Dempsey, Aaron Doan, Ashley Favreau, Amanda Kennedy, Sarah Truckle, David Weinbaum, Yasmin Juris. another Stearns, James in memory of James Stearns, who maintained a lifelong interest in athletics and education. The recipient of this scholarship is Stephanie Gerard, a music ed major. Next is the Carrie Hubbard Stewart Scholarship. This one, as your program says, established by George Stewart in memory of his mother, class of 1914. There are several recipients. It looks like our program has you coming forward. So I'll read names and then ask you to come up onto the platform. Lena Bredson, Kelly Darhow, Whitney Erskine, Samantha Flint, Nicole Hamilton, Corinna Lepley, Tony Little, Chelsea Myers, Deborah Neville, Megan Osborne Hull, Donia Prince, Carissa Ramsdell, Crystal Williams, Sarah Ann Wolf. Next, it is a pleasure to present a scholarship which is generously endowed for us by the Stowe Rotary. I believe we have Bryce Simon from the Stowe Rotary. I'd like to recognize him and express thanks for the extraordinary generosity of the Stowe Rotary year after year. This year's recipient, and she can't be here, she had a conflict, is Christine Langeron. Next is the Harold Sylvester Scholarship, which goes to Crystal Williams. And the next is also made possible by a very generous local friend and partner. The Union Bank has endowed scholarships for our students. This year's recipient is Catherine Johnson.
These next two awards may be the hottest off the press awards, the VSCSA Leadership Scholarships. These were voted on by the Vermont State Colleges Student Association, so consortium of student leaders from across the Vermont State College system. And the recipients from JSC are Leanna Bredesen and James Dempsey.
Professor Whiting follows me at the podium to present some awards, but before she does that, it's my pleasure to present one that is established as an endowed scholarship in her honor. And this year's recipient is Hannah Plant.
Story Endowment Scholarship excuse me, is presented in honor of 3 generations who attended Johnson State College. Laura Miller is the recipient of that award this year. Next, we have the Doris Spencer Scholarships. Doris Spencer was a long-time education professor at Johnson, and I would ask these people to come up in a group as I will read your names. You would line up, please. Jennifer Bethel, Dominique Couture, Timothy Kern, Stephanie Gerard, Amanda Kennedy, Desiree Lacoste, Peter LeBlanc, Rachel Mazur, Shane Mulcahy, Chelsea Meyer, Joshua Capullo, Sarah Ann Wolf, and Jasmine Uris.
The Willie Scholarship Prospectus reads, "This fund continues their spirit of hard work and sacrifice on behalf of future generations." In that sense, I've always thought it fitting that JSC students are the beneficiaries of these scholarships. This year's scholarship winners are Carly Helberg, Desiree Lacoste, Samantha Menard, and Andrew Mitchell. Program as we move into the college-wide awards. My pleasure to introduce yet again Professor Emeritus Alice White.
It is a pleasure to represent the Alumni Association in awarding 3 very special awards. The Distinguished Faculty Award is the first of these, and this year it's being given posthumously to Dr. Robert DiGiulio. We were saddened to learn of his death this past January, and we're pleased to honor him with this award. Excuse me. Dr. Bob served as professor in the JSC Education Department for 16 years, and he was an educator for 33 years in New York and Vermont. Students and colleagues have many fond memories of Bob. His classes were taught with enthusiasm. You could hear laughter coming from them, and Bob really used his enthusiasm, his strong interest in learning to impart to students that same interest. Students speak of his caring, supportive manner, and his use of humorous stories from his varied experiences. Bob was a prolific writer. He wrote education textbooks, but not limited to education in his writings. He wrote on other topics, one of which was in his book, After Loss. He sometimes spoke of letters he received from people whom he had never met, expressing their gratitude for his books and how helpful they had been for these people. Bob's colleagues recall his humor and how he could, and often did, liven up department and committee meetings. On a personal note, I recall how often he stopped by my office and shared stories about his classes, his students, and his family. His pride in these and his love for his family, Emily, his wife, his children, and grandchildren, was so obvious as he spoke of them. Colleagues also recall the cabin fever parties. I bet you can guess when they occurred. Vermont winters, you know. These parties were hosted by Bob and Emily in their home, and a highlight of the evening was always the sing-along with Bob playing at the piano. He could play most anything we asked for. We're pleased to recognize Bob with this award. He truly was a distinguished faculty member. And I believe we have Emily here, Emily, his wife, to accept the award on his behalf. Better known as Norm, to alumni and educators around the state. He received his bachelor's degree in 1961 and then returned to JSC for his master's degree, receiving it in 1984. He has served the youth of Vermont as a teacher, guidance counselor, coach, special education coordinator, and school superintendent. As a Northeast Kingdom educator, he has gained recognition there and throughout Vermont. He has also been active within his community, serving in several offices and as a member of several boards. Norm often speaks of his experiences and how much he enjoyed working with the boys at Boys State each year. He has been a member of the Alumni Council and has served as president of the group. Norm is always willing to serve, and it is a pleasure to present this award and recognize him as a distinguished alumnus of Johnson. Is pleased to present an award to a distinguished JSC staff member. This award was suggested, and this year we decided it was very appropriate, and very quickly, I think, even though there are many worthy staff members at JSC, very quickly came to the decision to recognize and honor Margot Warden for her commitment and dedication to the mission of JSC. While she is currently director of the first year experience here, Margot has served the college and students in other capacities as well. She is recognized as a mentor, counselor, and friend to students. Her enthusiasm, compassion, and ability to listen and support is often mentioned by both current and former students. Some students have honored Margot by referring to her as the campus mom. Her friendliness and sense of service extend beyond the campus, as she is active in town government also. She currently serves as a member of the select board for the town of Johnson. I'm not sure if they call her a select woman or not, but we feel that she is very select. respect that many hold for Margot is obvious as one speaks with students, faculty, staff, and the larger community. We're pleased to recognize Margot. She is setting a high standard for future recipients of this award. Margot.
Today, the day when I'm known as the campus grandmother. It's a real honor.
I'm Barbara Luigi, Director of Athletics and Recreation. It gives me great pleasure to recognize one of our outstanding student athletes. Amongst many of them we have, they've been very talented this year, both on and off the field. This award winner, Stacy Cutting, this year has been a three-sport athlete for us. She's been a strong member of our Student Athlete Advisory Council. She's been outstanding in the classroom as well, so we wish her the best. Stacy Cutting.
Here. Can you still hear me? Great. You know, as you could tell from my introductory remarks, honors and an honor society are very much on my mind. And so I'm kind of glad, actually, that this year's winner of the Chesmore Honor Society Award is not going to graduate, so that you can participate in next year's discussions on that subject. So it's really a pleasure to recognize Lindsay Chandler. I'm informed that Lindsay's last name, although listed on the program as Chandler, is actually Mole. Oh, sorry about that. The Excellence in Advising Award. You know, high quality, enthusiastic advising is hard, necessary, and important work. This year's awardee manages to accomplish it with no fewer than 89 advisees, the highest at Johnson State College. And even with these numbers, she has a reputation for availability, caring, and for willingness to help. Let me read from her nominator. The advice and guidance she gives, both as an educator and as an advisor, are unmatched anywhere. She's enthusiastic about her job and passes that enthusiasm to her advisees. She's available for assistance nearly any time she's asked, and her guidance not only helps me and others in choosing classes, but in how to study to become an educator. Her advice is priceless, and the time that I spend talking with her is always rewarding on multiple levels. It's really a special pleasure to announce that this year's award goes to Jean Haig. Our part-time faculty members are a marvelously talented and varied group of educators. That means that the committee's task of selecting a person was really not easy, but in the end, their choice was clear. Our winner probably wears more hats than anyone else on campus. Students see his courses as rigorous and their themes as relevant to their own lives. Those with various learning styles feel comfortable and indeed honored in his classroom. His courses make students active members of a community of learners, whether they're working in the garden or the kitchen or writing an essay. From the Writing and Literature Department, this year's winner is Russ Weiss.
This year's recipient of the J. Blair Memorial Scholarship is Amy Serino. Amy is pursuing a master's degree in our counseling program. Her passion and career goals involve working on substance issues with adolescents. She has worked with our coordinator of alcohol and drug education in our counseling center here on campus this year and has been an outstanding hall advisor in our residence life program for the past 2 years. Amy Serino. This year's Community Service Award winner is Caitlin Dias. To make Caitlin stand here, I'll say a few quick things about her. Caitlin's devoted to children and enjoys teaching and dancing. While here at JSC, she has taught dance to children at a dance studio in Waterbury, has worked with our Child Development Center, volunteered in the America Reads program and Johnson Elementary After School program, as well as River Arts in Morrisville. She has also led multiple breakaway trips, including one for special needs children in New Hampshire. And Caitlin is donating half the amount of her receipt for this award to the Crosset Brook Middle School Odyssey of the Mind team, a program that sent 5 teams to the state finals of Odyssey of the Mind.
Given every year to an employee who possesses the quality of dedication and service exemplified by Frida Heb, class of 1925, and an inspiration and legend to many of us who work here. She served the college with loyalty and distinction. Her dedication and willingness to go the extra mile are legendary here at the college. This year's recipient is Sandra Douglas. Is she going to come down? Okay. Sandy's the one who was lining us all up and telling us who goes behind whom and who leads the procession, and it is a role to which she is perfectly suited. Yes. I'm going to embarrass Sandy with some wonderful remarks here. She is nominated by several colleagues, especially in the departments which she serves with distinction. That's humanities and writing and lit. She is wonderful, works above and beyond her job description, takes the initiative to figure out ways to make our jobs easier, gives us materials before we even know we need them, is a great mentor to work-study students. I can't envision chairing the department without her support. Besides her attention to detail, her initiative and foresight, if she needs to stay late, she does. If I need to meet her at the Hardwick House of Pizza, she comes. If I have to phone her on the weekend, I can. Sandy is always ready to serve the college. These from Andrea Parham, Department Chair, Writing and Lit. Jerry Anderson, Chair of Humanities, adds, I nominate Sandy Douglas for all the reasons above, as well as her experience and contributions to our community and beyond. More than ever, her willingness to be honest, even when it might be inconvenient or causes her to be criticized, is a voice that we need. Based on her dedicated service, I nominate her. She gives herself 100% to the many people who request and ask her services. She's always cheerful, ready to accommodate even the grumpiest characters who walk into her office. She is kind, open, and full-hearted. Congratulations, Sandy.
This year's recipient of the Christos Area Spirit Award truly embodies the spirit for which this honor is named. Chris Lanthier has been everywhere on campus in his years at Johnson State, an orientation leader involved with student government and helping to plan numerous events on the campus, and an active participant in WJSC, which we've helped shepherd to its new location in Stearns Hall. Chris was a major part of all this and will be greatly missed for his enthusiasm for Johnson State College. The Student Life Distinguished Service Award is the highest award given each year from the Division of Student Affairs here at the college. And it truly is hard to imagine this campus without Sarah Cook, the student I'm going to talk about here. Sarah first came to some of our attention a few years ago when she drove a biodiesel bus from New Hampshire to California to raise alternative fuel awareness. And we should have known from that moment of the involvement we could expect from her on this campus as well. She's been an RA for resident assistant for 3.5 years, which Michelle Whitmore tells me she believes is the longest stint in Johnson State history. She has participated in the America Reads and mentoring programs through our SERVE office. She is a spinning instructor and has a smile for everyone on this campus. Sarah Cook, our Distinguished Service Award.
Final award, the Lula Potter Cup, is the highest academic honor, and it goes to 2 individuals who've attained astronomical GPAs, grade point averages, but much else as well. I'll talk briefly about each of them, calling them up one by one. This from Susan Green. Jennifer is an inspired lifelong dancer who lives a wellness lifestyle and promotes healthy living. She's an active member of the Wham Club, and is bright, articulate, and fearless in her work to improve healthcare. Jennifer will always be the first student to approach a professor to say, make the class harder, raise the bar higher. She hopes to become a public health educator, helping people find optimal, scientifically validated health and wellness options in both conventional medicine and in alternative medicine. We're lucky. We need her. Please join me in recognizing Jennifer Taylor. No less worthy is our second recipient, this from Steve Blair. Laura Turner has been an outstanding student in our music education program. During her years at JSC, Laura has developed a strong foundation in the complex aspects of the language of music. As a student teacher, she received many good words from her cooperating teacher at Stowe Elementary. As a future teacher, Laura has the advantage of knowledge in both traditional and contemporary musical styles. This will surely give her future students a well-balanced and diverse education that's needed in the 21st century. Laura is also an excellent trombone player who can play everything from challenging classical music to the funk disco gig I did with her last week. Please join me in recognizing Laura Kramer. All right, we are at the end of our program, not quite though. I want to say a couple of things in closing. We hope it's not too evident, but the amount of work behind the scenes to organize this event is truly staggering. And I'd ask that you read the acknowledgments in the back of your booklet, but I do want to recognize, at least in passing, the staff of the Academic Dean's Office, the AAs across the college, Jan Herder and his marvelous Dibden crew, marketing and printing services, Sally Laughlin and her colleagues. Finally, a couple of housekeeping details and announcements. If I'm not mistaken, for those of you who were recognized at your seats, the certificates will be on stage after this event, and then after, and subsequently in the Academic Dean's Office in Martinetti Hall. Photos, I think, right Sally, will be taken in front of Dibden immediately after the event for Alumni Association scholarship recipients and those meeting with their donors. I would ask that you check out some of the wonderful events that are going to be going on at Johnson State College. As I mentioned earlier, 7 p.m. tonight, be here, right in Dibden again. The concert choir and band will be performing. And while you're at it, I mentioned this earlier as well, just behind the back wall in the Scott Gallery, there is quite a marvelous BFA exhibit. It's very interesting, really, by Emily Reed and Tim Savard. I would ask that you check that out, as well as a number of senior recitals that will be taking place next week. And finally, please remain seated until the recessional has concluded and the platform party has exited. And thank you very much for joining us this afternoon.